welcome back to another video in my pre-dental type series. I got a lot of comments and some Instagram DMs and things from students that are in high school even that already know that they want to be pre-dental or between med, dental, PA, things like that. So they wanted me to make a video giving advice to high school students that are pre-dental or prospectively pre-dental. I'm personally a human bio major in Lyman Briggs College at Michigan State University. I'm a senior right now, and I'm going to dental school that starts in June at the University of Michigan School of Dentistry. So I do have a little bit of experience with this. I'm on e-board for Pre-Dental Club and for Pre-Health Honor Society. I've been to tons of pre-dental days, dental school interviews, all that stuff. So I definitely have been in your shoes. So I'm going to have timestamps in the description below of the different kind of subjects I'm going to cover. I'm pretty much going to go in like chronological order along your journey as a younger pre-dental student. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is figuring out if dentistry is right for you and how you can do that. Then the next thing is getting involved early and what that means. And then what to be doing during high school, like different classes that might be helpful. And then applying to college, thinking what major you should be going into, and then what to expect during college as a pre-dental student. So those are kind of the things I'm going to cover. I hope that encompasses enough of what you guys were looking for. But if you guys do have any other questions or want a follow-up video, please let me know in the comments and I would be very happy to make one. So I kind of have two things to cover in the topic of is dentistry right for you. So first would be how you can figure that out, and then also kind of a analysis of yourself that you can do, like what kind of traits might be good for a dentist to have. So first, for figuring out if it's right for you, definitely you're in a good place on YouTube looking up pre-dental advice or dental student vlogs or even just videos of before and after dental procedures, videos of dental procedures, shadowing. Those are all really great ways to figure out if dentistry is something that like sparks an interest in you. The first time I was shadowing at my general dentist, I wouldn't even say that I was like, this is the most like riveting thing I've ever seen. Shadowing is not super entertaining because you're pretty like hands off, just observing, and sometimes they make you stand kind of far back from the patient. But when I did get in there and get to see like what was actually happening within the patient's mouth and with the instruments that the dentist was using and stuff, it was so cool. And I just had this little like tingle in me, like wow, like this is so just like intricate and awesome and something that I would love to get to try to do. And then once you get into college, you're definitely going to be able to get involved in pre-dental days at dental schools where you are going to get to start doing some hands-on stuff. So that's definitely something to look forward to. But yeah, so videos is a great way to see if it's something you're interested in, and if you think from that you might be, definitely go shadow. A great place to start is your family dentist, whoever you go to now. Call them up. I'm sure they would love to have you come in for one time, but definitely I would try to give it like a week, like at least like 3 or 4 hours. I think doing a half day is very reasonable, so either come in until lunch or come in at lunch and stay the rest of the day for about a week just to really get a feel. And honestly, every office is different though. Like if you were pretty set, like I want to do dentistry, but you didn't happen to like the one office you shadowed, I wouldn't let that deter you. Like start trying another one, but odds are you're going to like something about it, and the more places you can shadow, the better. One thing to keep in mind though is that shadowing hours from high school do not count towards your shadowing hours when you're applying for dental school during undergrad / at the end of undergrad. So those are really just for you to get exposure and to continue growing your interest in the field. Another thing you can do is join Facebook groups, sign up for different online like articles to be sent to your inbox, looking at different dentistry like news sources, or there's a bunch of like dental school podcasts and books and things, plenty of things to look into, but honestly I don't think it's essential at all. It's just if you're really that into it, those definitely exist and there's something you can seek out. And then the next thing to figure out if it's right for you, like I said, is kind of seeing if you might have the right personality or traits. These are just some things that I think are really important in a dentist, but I know that everyone has different opinions on that, and if you aren't these things, it doesn't mean you can't do it. I think you need to be very self-motivated. I think you need to have very genuine interest in the field and not being like money driven or anything, because that's not guaranteed. Like with political things and just like insurance companies, like having dentistry be like a higher income field is 100% not guaranteed, especially if you're only in high school right now. By the time you're working and in your 40s, things can be so different. So you really want to make sure you actually like the work that you're doing. Another thing I think is really important is being very good with like details, like being very detail oriented, having good like artistic abilities, spatial perception, things like that are going to be really important for your DAT to get into dental school, which I have a lot of videos about, and then also just in general when you're doing the work. When you go to some of those pre-dental days, they have you work on your, I think it's called like inverted vision. It's where you're basically using like a mirror and it's like opposite, because when you're looking in the patient's mouth, you're looking with the little hand mirror, so you're looking into there. You're not looking front facing onto the tooth, so everything that you move is like opposite of what's happening in their mouth. So there's definitely just a lot of like mental things that go into it, and it's also a very cosmetic field because they want their teeth to look good. So you need to be kind of have an artistic or aesthetic type of eye, and that's definitely something you can develop. But if you naturally have it, I think that would be great. I think being really like passionate about your community is important because you're going to be a big part of your community. People go to their dentist sometimes for their entire lives and for their kids' lives. So I think if you're really passionate about something like that and bringing good into your community and being a positive person for people to see, I think is another really great thing. Yeah, I really can't think of anything else. Like when people ask me what do I think makes a great dentist, I usually say empathy and I say skill, because I think empathy is really important to understand and relate to all types of patients, and then the skill I think is just essential to deliver really high quality care, and that's something that you're just going to develop in school, and hopefully you'll have a little bit of natural ability for it. But if you don't, a lot of people don't, and they teach you, and that's the point of going to dental school. Okay, so the next little piece of advice I have for pre-dental high school students is to get involved early. Once you're set on you want to do dentistry, and start shadowing. Like I said, obviously you don't need to like try to get 100 hours or anything crazy, but I think just saying that you started it early and that you had exposure to 2 general dentistry offices and a specialty office in high school is just something cool to say, that you were really passionate about it early on, because a lot of my peers didn't choose to be pre-dental and apply to dental school until the very like last couple years of undergrad. So think about how many years ahead you are of other people, which is really great. So props to you for thinking about things so early. I think I decided on my sophomore year of high school, so also very early. I don't think you need to do more than 50 hours, 100% don't need to do more than 50 hours at a dentist office shadowing, like collectively, just again because they don't count per se for anything other than your own like enjoyment and experience. If you could start working at an office, that would be really cool to make money and put that on your application. And if you could assist or something, and then when you go home from undergrad in the summers or something, work at that office again, that would be really good. So if you're able to get in very tight with a dentist office to eventually be able to assist or do like office work, assisting's the best, but if you're able to assist or do office work at that dentist office once you're in college, because then those hours count, that would be really good. So just starting to like make those connections with dentists in your local community, or if you live close to the college you're going to attend, around that community, stuff like that. Or if you live close to a dental school, 100% try to start getting involved in that area. And even at the dental school, if there's anything you can do there. Outside of dentistry, there's a ton of things that you can get involved in that are going to help you get into a good undergrad institution and just kind of show that you were a very engaged and devoted person really early on, even before college. That could be charities, service projects, whether that's starting your own project or getting involved in one at your school or in your local community. Really anything community oriented I think is so great to get involved in, because I think they're always really fun to be involved in like local service projects and things like that, because you can kind of see a direct impact a lot more. So if you guys have the opportunity and time to volunteer, I think it will be super rewarding for you, and also be great to help you get into undergrad, and then also help carry that over into your time in undergrad to be volunteering and to help you get leadership positions in organizations. Since you have that kind of experience, it all just kind of flows together, as you'll notice throughout your time. It's a very like nice like linear slope of like improvement and more involvement and stuff like that as you're going through your different years of school. Okay, so for high school, like what you should be doing academically, what might help. This is a pretty tough question, because nothing you're doing in high school is going to directly impact your dental school application or your actual experience in dental school, but there can be a little bit of boost that you might experience during undergrad or during dental school if you get early exposure to certain. So what I mean by that is your dental application, the only thing that they see from high school is what high school you attended, or what high schools, if you went to a few, that you attended. Don't put ACT, SAT, you don't put GPA, you don't put like letters from those high school teachers, none of that. It's very much what you did during undergrad, or if you do a master's or a post-bac, that's all that matters for your dental school application. So things in high school that could be helpful could be doing dual enrollment instead of AP credits, because that will help you get through some of the more general classes at undergrad sooner and possibly graduate earlier or be able to apply earlier, take lesser credits each semester so you can focus on the hard science classes. So I think dual enrollment's a really great idea. That wasn't offered where I went to. I went to like a small private school, so I took a few AP classes, but AP classes for a lot of dental schools don't count for the actual prerequisites. Some they do, some they don't, so that's something you'll have to look into once you're in college if they count, but I wouldn't bank on your AP Chem counting for Chem 1, because they really want you to be taking your prerequisites for dental school at a four-year institution, and they also have a limit on community college credits that can be prerequisites. So let's say there's 10 prerequisites at the dental school, which are usually mostly science classes. If you did 5 at the community college, that probably won't fly. Usually they'll only accept around 3 or so. This is also very like word of mouth what I've heard, because I didn't have that particular situation. I did 0 credits coming into college from high school, did them all at the same four-year institution, so I have really not much personal experience with it. That's just what I've heard from friends and at different pre-dental days. So you really should look into that, and I guess in my sense just save your money on the AP classes and try to do dual enrollment instead, is kind of what I've observed from my friends and at different dental school events. But some types of classes that I think could be helpful if you go to a school that offers them: anatomy 100% will be helpful because you're going to have that in undergrad and again in dental school, so the earlier you can get exposure to that would be awesome. Biochemistry, general chemistry, organic chemistry, those are all really great. Maybe an AP bio or a dual enrollment like college level biology would be really, really helpful. Yeah, mostly just like science classes I think are helpful because that's what you're going to be doing in dental school and likely in undergrad. So as I mentioned, undergrad, so choosing a college and like what kind of major to do. Some things to consider for that are prerequisites for dental school, so which of these schools have a major that's going to cover a lot of the prerequisites, so you're not spending extra money on classes that you don't need for your major for undergrad. And then classes that are going to get you prepared for dental school, and then thinking about a major that might make you stand out and why I don't think that's necessary at all. So first thing we can talk about is picking a major that might make you stand out. I think if you're super, super passionate about like old English literature and you want to be like a lit major, go for it. But if you're just doing that because you think, oh, I didn't mind AP English and writing's fine, I guess I'll do that to be different, definitely don't. I think that's a big, in my opinion, waste of money, because then you still have to take all like 10, 12, 15 of those dental school prerequisites on top of the full 4-year course load that your now literature degree is asking of you. So I just think it's very like impractical. Unless you're really passionate about some major that doesn't relate to prerequisites for dental school, I would say not to do it, because I don't think it's going to make much of a difference. But if you are super passionate about psychology or business or something like that and you want to do that major, 110% go for it. I'm personally a human biology major. Yeah, so I chose to be a biology major because all of the prerequisites for dental school I would be taking anyways in my degree. If you're not that familiar with like how college majors and stuff work, you have like your degree, your major classes, but then you also have university requirement classes such as a low-level history, low-level sociology, basic math, stuff like that. And then this side is going to be something pertaining to your major. So for me, bio 1 and 2, gen chem 1 and 2, orgo 1 and 2, physics 1 and 2 with labs for all those, microbiology, genetics, immunology, histology, all these types of classes is what was under my biology major. Yeah, so if that kind of helps you guys, I don't really know if that directly answers your question, but some majors that I think could kind of fall under that category: perhaps neuroscience, physiology, any type of biology. Yeah, those were the three that like I would consider. You could maybe do genetics or biochem. I have some friends that are biochem majors. So really whatever you find interesting. Chemistry is not my strong suit, so I tried to stick more to the biology side of things, and that's definitely paid off because I have better grades in my bio type classes than my chemistry type classes now that I'm in my last semester. And another kind of push or benefit, in my opinion, of being a science major over something else is I think you're going to be more prepared for dental school, especially in my experience as a biology major. I've taken genetics and immuno and histology and micro, and those classes are all 100% part of the didactic bookwork that I do in dental school or will do in dental school. So I'm hoping that my background knowledge, my notes that I'm saving, my exams, things like that are going to come in a lot of use once I'm in dental school and starting to learn all that material in a much, much higher rate and amount of material. So I will let you guys know once school starts if I think my experience as a biology major has been helpful at all once I start dental school. Okay, I know this is a pretty long video, but the last topic I want to talk about with you guys just for a little bit is what to expect once you're starting college as a pre-dental student. Things are going to be challenging. You're going to be adjusting to general college life. You're also going to have hard classes, especially if you're coming in with a friend group from high school where there's students that are psych majors, education majors, business majors, maybe pre-med, maybe other things. You're all going to be having very different workloads, to be honest, with your classes, and I think it's important from the very beginning to find peers and friends in your major and in your classes that you can have to study with, and honestly, instead of your friends that are different majors, because they can be a bit of a distraction in an academic setting, but definitely keep your friends around that are other majors for social settings and things like that. But I think having friends that are at least science majors or in the same classes as you is something really, really good to try to do right when you start college, because they're going to be study buddies, they're going to be in your classes for all these future years, and it's just really nice to know people going through the same things as you, and you can teach each other, and just an overall really good experience. And one way to do that, if your lecture halls are gigantic and the people next to you seem odd and you're scared to talk to them or something, is joining organizations. So I joined Predental Club my freshman year, and I also joined Alpha Epsilon Delta Pre-Health Honor Society. Long name, we just call it AED, but our chapter here, it's not Greek life, it's a honor society, as I said. So I joined both of those freshman year and also a service club, and then by end of sophomore year I was just in Predental Club and AED, and junior year I had 2 e-board positions for AED, and now I'm president, and then senior year for Predental Club, I'm secretary. So just being involved in clubs I've found to be so helpful to meet people that are like-minded, and honestly really cool. Like clubs, at least at our school, even if they're like an academic or like pre-health club, we still have like social events and parties and fun social things, but then we also do school things and things that are going to prepare you for dental school. I'd say overall for college, expect to be challenged, but also expect to have a great time, and expect to get really involved and push yourself really hard. And if you want any more advice for like what I didn't know as a pre-dental student, I did make a video about that, and that's probably more applicable if you are ending high school or just want to know more about college life as a pre-dental student. Or you can watch all my vlogs where I show tons of my daily life as a college student. That's pretty much everything I wanted to talk to you guys about. I hope I covered everything that you were interested in hearing about. Again, if you still have more questions, please, please, please leave them in the comments below and I will reply to you, or maybe even make another video. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next one.